Hello and welcome to Mlimani Discussion Forum, also known as MDF. My name is Naomi Elizabeth Malyoga and I'll be your host today. So today we're going to talk about what are the contributions of TMF in the news industry. Well, we'll have a special guest who's going to talk about the contributions of TMF in the news industry.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for welcoming me and for considering TMF. Okay, welcome. I'm ready for discussion.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. So before we commence, Rafael, could you please tell us what TMF deals with and what are the responsibilities of TMF?
Okay, TMF is Tanzania Media Foundation, okay. And its role is to promote media, the quality media in Tanzania, and we actually support media institutions and journalists. Okay. The aim is to promote accountability, so journalism for accountability. And therefore, what we do is we support in terms of, we first conduct training, okay. And then we do research, but again, we support in terms of financial support or any other support relevant to the media. Okay. Yeah.
As most people know that TMF is a non-government organization, please tell us, how do you reach and connect with people in the society?
Yeah, as a media institution, what we do, we actually directly connected to the media houses and journalists. Okay. And actually those are our very target audience. Okay. And so we through the support we give to journalists, we go to the society. So the products the journalists produce actually address issues of society. And so that is how we connect with society. But our first and direct target, they are journalists and media institutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does your cooperation with the journalist, how does your cooperation with the journalists produce positive results in the news industry?
Actually, as I said, we focus on media viability. Okay. And media viability means we want to see the media industry become sustainable. And so we support journalists to produce impactful stories. So what we do, we actually mentor the journalists. But again, we say we mentor and nurture journalists and media institutions. So in mentoring and nurturing journalists, we actually give them support to produce content which address issues of the community. And we have seen them actually being impactful because a journalist produces some content under the mentors or under experts, media experts who have experience in the media. And so they are actually directly connected and nurtured to produce content that touch the human interest issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As you said before that you mentor journalists and at the same time you train them too. So please tell us, what are your contributions of TMF in the news industry?
Okay, I think the contribution is that one of mentoring journalists to produce quality content. Okay. And the other contribution I have said is, apart from training journalists, we support them in terms of financial support to produce some content which maybe their media houses cannot be able to support in terms of financial support. So we support journalists to produce content from the marginalized communities or marginalized areas or in the rural areas where maybe it can be costly for their media houses to support them. So if I can say our contribution to the sector and to the society is that we actually focus on media for accountability. And we have seen some stories which have been supported by TMF contributing to accountability in some way. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So as we all know that we as human beings pass through a lot of challenges the same as institutions and organizations. So please tell us, what are the challenges that TMF faces, and also how do you overcome those challenges?
Yeah, yes, challenges are human, I can say. Okay. The TMF is a non-governmental organization which is depending, I can say, in some way entirely to external support or to donors, donor funding. And you can know recently there are some kind of wars in Ukraine and everywhere where we see some kind of challenges. And so this is affecting the funding because you find like donors are saying, okay, we have been affected by the Ukraine conflict, and therefore some of the funding they are being reduced, or sometimes others stop. So you find like TMF as an organization which depends on donor funding is actually struggling sometimes to get funds to support journalists. What we are actually doing for now in my capacity and my staff, we are now trying to work not to depend entirely on donor support. So we have established a business department where TMF now will be doing some kind of business which is non-profit business. So if we do business, then we'll be able to support our programs even if we don't have external funding. Okay. So that is how we are actually addressing the challenge, the donor funding challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
According to your views, or TM's views, do you think that the Tanzanian journalists have got up to speed with the changes in technology? Or are still on the road to success? I mean, still on the road to adopting the changes in technology?
Yeah, my opinion, because I am used to meeting journalists and training them, okay, I can say that we still have a way to go when it comes to adopting technology. Yes, not all of them are adapting to technology. Okay. You see, technology does not mean using WhatsApp or Instagram. Okay. It involves processing and use of technology to produce content and share content, but again to do some kind of analysis. Okay. Using technological tools to analyze, I can say, data or information and share them in a way that can be understood by any common person. So if you ask me what level are they, I can say it's average. Okay. So there is some kind, much to do to lift up their capacity. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Journalists outside there, or people who would like to take part in journalism, are there anything that you like to tell them or like to direct them about the news industry?
Okay, yeah, I can say maybe to journalists that journalism is a noble profession. It's not just, you see, sometimes people do confuse between media and journalism. If we can define well journalism is defined as a profession in the democratic society that acts as an intermediary between the government and the public. Okay. But media is just a big thing which incorporates everyone, because human beings are communicators, so they are human, they are media animals, I can say. Okay. So, but journalism is a very serious endeavor, which needs serious people and smart people. So if you want to be a journalist, you should not take it like it's an area of small, simple people. Okay. It's an area which is a very serious one and which needs smart people to be able to undertake that kind of profession. Okay. So anyone who wants to join journalism, not maybe media, because we have media practitioners and media people, but a journalist is a very different. So if one wants to be a journalist, maybe he has to think and understand that it's a noble profession which needs smart people. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that your work have been seen by other people or other companies too. So I'd say, could you please tell us, could you show us some examples? Because some people do know what TMF is, but they don't really know the journalists that have worked under you. Please tell us some of the people that have worked with you guys and are now actually in other organizations doing some work.
Okay. Yeah, you see, TMF has supported a lot of journalists. Okay. We have worked with journalists who are now working with the big media houses in the country. So if you would like me to mention, I can tell you.
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah, I can tell you. One is Salome Kitomari,
Okay.
has been our fellow, has participated in the fellowship programs. But there is another, is Eric Kabendera. I don't know if you have heard about Eric Kabendera. Eric Kabendera is an investigative journalist who has been doing investigative journalism. We have worked with other like the mentors we have been working with, like Ndimara Tegambwage. I don't know if you have ever heard about Ndimara Tegambwage. He's a senior and a veteran journalist, he's an investigative journalist, which you need to know him. Rose Marim, I don't know if you have ever heard about Rose Marim. Has been working with TMF as a mentor.
Okay.
Rose Marim is a veteran journalist as well, has done a great job in journalism in this country. So we have worked with many media houses like Mwananchi, Communications Limited, and other media houses. Okay. So yeah, we are in the industry and we are
pursuing. So
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dustin, before we end the show, because we're about to, is there anything that you like to tell people or like to share to people?
To show people, to share with them.
Like
Okay.
any ideas or something, you know?
Okay. Sharing with people, I can share a great deal about TMF, but or I can share with journalists, as I've said. What I can say is like media is, as I said, that human beings are media animals, and we need to have some kind of literacy when we deal with media. We talk of media literacy. Being a media person does not necessarily that you become a journalist, but what I say as a citizen of Tanzania and seeing the way people use media, not just for the benefit, but we see misusing the media.
That's true.
So what I can say to the people now, not journalists alone, is that we need to have some kind of media literacy. We need to learn how to use media, how to communicate, and how to use media for our benefit, for our own benefit, but for the benefit of the community and for our own development. And maybe sometimes when you use media, we need to find how we can even portray our country in ways that is very positive to the world, and portray like we are noble people, Tanzanians. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So, how can people reach out to you or know more about TMF?
Yeah, TMF is very known in our country, and so you can visit our website, TMF. If you Google, you can see the website, and then they can follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, and Instagram. It's just writing Tanzania Media Foundation, and you get everything. They can also follow our programs because we have many programs. Recently, we are going to launch the masterclass series on collaborative and specialized journalism. So they can follow us on our social media. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dustin, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure for you to come here and to join us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this show, guys. Till again, we'll meet again next time. Stay safe.